Welcome to Home Cooking with Holly. Today we're going to make my mother's favorite cake. It's from the 1988 Betty Crocker cookbook and it's called the Silver White Cake. All right, to start out, for the creamy whipped icing, I am bringing to room temperature a 1/4 cup of butter. That's going to be very important, so you want that to come to room temperature. So I usually pull that out when I start the cake, because obviously we won't frost it until it cools. So, to my stand mixer, you can also use a hand mixer. You can even stir it by hand. I'm going to add 2/3 of a cup of shortening. And I'm going to add 1 2/3 cup of sugar. Now, baking is more of a science, and you do have to measure things. However, this one is kind of more of a dump cake recipe. So you actually can put everything in here except for the egg whites at the very beginning. So I need 1 2/3 cup of sugar. There's 1. And 1/3. And 2/3. And I need 2 1/4 cups of flour. So 1. 2, and here's a 1/4. Then I need 1 1/4 cups of milk. Here goes our milk. Now, most cakes are not dump cakes. You have to put things in a certain order. Usually you want your fat and your sugar, your liquid, first. And then you will add your dry ingredients and possibly more liquid. But in the case of this one, the Silver White Cake is actually a dump cake, which makes it easier. Now I need 3 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder, and you do want to level those off. So there's 1, 2, 3. This is your leavening agent that will help your cake to rise. And here's 1/2. And I need a teaspoon of salt. And I also need a teaspoon of an extract. Now you can use vanilla or almond in this cake, and I found I really prefer the almond. So I'm going to use some pure almond extract. 1 teaspoon, a little extra, never hurt anybody. Just don't go too crazy. And now I'm going to turn this on a little low at first. I gotta lift up my bowl. Just because I don't want those dry ingredients to go flying everywhere, because they will if you start too high. But we will be beating this on high for 2 minutes. Now that it's sort of come together, I'm gonna switch it to high. And that's gonna go for those 2 minutes. Okay, we're only about halfway through, but I am gonna scrape down the sides. Make sure everything's getting mixed in there, and it smells so good. That almond, definitely one of my favorites. And now I'm going to let it go for the other minute. Now the next step is to add 5 egg whites. We just want the whites, not the yolks. Now there's a couple different ways that you can do this. You can just use the egg and have the shell help you to separate the yolk out, by kind of bouncing it back and forth until you get all that wonderful white out. And you can save these egg yolks and cook them up for something else, absolutely. Now, the other way I like to do it is if you have an egg separator. Sometimes they'll fit on what you're using. This one doesn't really want to. That's okay. I'm going to crack my egg and hold it over it and let it just fall into the egg separator. And we just want to get that yolk out of the white. We want to separate it. I prefer the old-fashioned way. I find it's less messy. And you can see I got a tiny bit of yolk in there. Doesn't usually happen when I do it the old-fashioned way. And it won't hurt, so I'm not gonna really mess with trying to get it out of there, because it's just a tiny bit. It's 4, we just need 1 more. Okay. Now my oven is preheating to 350, and I'm going to add in my egg whites. And I'm going to beat that on high again, just for about, probably another 30 seconds. All right, and now it's ready. It's that easy, that easy. Doesn't take long at all. So I'm going to remove this, and I want to make sure I scrape off all the lovely batter from this. Of course, it's a great thing to give your kids or your grandkids. They love to lick the mixer. I know some people have been worried about raw egg consumption, but actually believe it's the raw flour that is the issue. So if you don't want to give it to them, completely understandable. Always happened in my family though, and we've never had an issue. And now I have sprayed a 9x13 pan. I'm just going to pour that in there. You can also butter the pan if you prefer. And I just want to smooth that out so that it bakes evenly. All right. Now this is going to go into the oven for approximately 40 minutes. Depending on your oven. Some ovens cook a little faster, some ovens cook a little slower. Remember, we're at 350 degrees. And what I'm going to do is after about 35 minutes, I'm going to check the doneness with a toothpick. And while that cake is baking, I'm going to show you our family's favorite recipe, creamy whipped icing. This is great on cakes, cupcakes, just about anything. All right, I'm trusting you with the secret family recipe for our creamy whipped icing. So to start out, you want a pot with a lid, and I'm going to add 1.5 teaspoons of cornstarch. And there's a half. Next, I need a pinch of salt from my salt cellar. And to this, I'm going to add 3/4 cup of milk. Now this is the cooked base for the frosting. We also will be doing some things in the mixer, but first we need to get this going because it needs to cool completely before we can add it to the other part of the frosting. Now I'm actually turning my burner on to a medium high, and I'm gonna start whisking this. Now make sure you have a pan that's safe to use with metal. If you don't, then don't use a metal whisk. Make sure you use a silicone whisk. And I just wanna start whisking this together. As it starts to heat up, you'll feel some resistance from that cornstarch until you get it mixed in. And what I'm going to do is actually let this come to a boil, whisking it almost constantly. It's already bubbling up. And I just want to keep making sure I'm scraping against the entire bottom so that nothing sticks. We certainly don't want it to scorch. Now what I'm looking for is a thickening. I want this to thicken. And I'll show you the texture that we're going for as soon as we get there. It's starting to thicken a little now, but I'm going to keep going. It's been 35 minutes. I'm going to take a toothpick, stick it through the center, and it's clean, so the cake is done. Now we're almost there. Now you can see the texture is completely changing. Just a little longer and we'll be there, probably another 30 seconds. This is the important part. You want to get this consistency and texture correct and not let it stick or scorch. Because remember, we're on a higher heat. See how it's looking? Turn off the stove and it's pretty much set. It's like a thin pudding. Now I'm going to pop a lid onto it, remove it from the heat source, and we're going to let that cool completely. Now while our cake is cooling completely over here and our frosting base is cooling, I'm going to start on the rest of the frosting. And here I have my 1/4 cup of softened butter and 1/2 cup of shortening. And I'm going to beat this on high for a few minutes. I want a really creamy consistency. All right, I'm going to scrape the sides down. That is nice and creamy. Then I'm going to add in 3/4 cup of sugar. And I'm going to put it back on high again. But remember, with dry ingredients, we start out slow. We don't want the dry ingredients to flip everywhere. And then we'll turn it up to high. After about 2 minutes, I'm going to scrape the sides down again, just to get everything incorporated in there. And I'll let it go about another 30 seconds. Okay, and this is about the texture we're going for. It's full of sugar crystals right now. If you actually sample that, it'll crunch a little bit from the sugar crystals. But that will go away when we add our frosting base to it. And it's almost cool, so we're almost ready to do that. Okay, now that the frosting base has cooled, I'm going to add it to the rest of the frosting here. You can see how much it's thickened up again since it's cooled. And now I'm going to beat this on high for about a minute. And now I'm going to add some flavoring. Again, you can use almond or vanilla. In the frosting, I prefer to use vanilla. So here goes a teaspoon of vanilla. And I'm going to beat that in for about 30 seconds. And I'm going to scrape down the sides. I want to make sure everything gets well incorporated. And beat that for just about 15 more seconds. And it's done. Now we have our frosting. You can add some food coloring as well. Sometimes I do color the frosting. I'm going to leave it white this time though. And there you have the finished cake. Okay, what did you think? It's a delicious cake. It's got a great crumb to it. And those egg whites, they whip up so nicely that they give it a nice little crispness to the edges of the cake. I hope you'll give this recipe a try. Let me know in the comments below what you thought, and please like and subscribe and follow me for more recipes and cooking tips.